Hello and welcome. This is Bree Stedman, host of Own Your BS, the podcast, where your negative head talk and the bullshit stories you tell yourself become irrelevant, and solution focus creates a path of emotional confidence, clarity, and control. Hello and welcome to Own Your BS, the podcast. This is episode 20, and today I want to share with you, I want to help you to break down this idea of a Ground Hog Day experience. Over the last 6 years that I've been working with women, a consistent issue that surfaces, which is not directly connected to head talk, but certainly fuels negative head talk, is this whole idea of Groundhog Day existence, of being stuck in a rut, trapped in a merry-go-round where you're just going around and around and around. The same day on a different day of the week. The same week in a different month. The same month in a different year. You've probably experienced it yourself. You wake up and you start to think about what your day is going to look like. You can picture that you're going to roll out of bed and you're going to make the kids' lunches, sort out breakfast, get them ready for school. You're going to have the same kind of arguments that you have every morning. Get dressed. Where are your shoes and socks? What do you need to pack in your school bag? Can you get in the car? We've got to go. We're going to be late. Move it. We've got to go. You drop the kids off at school and you make your way to work, whether that's working in your own business or a career. And just like the day before, you do the same kind of tasks. You talk to the same kind of people. You have the same kind of conversations. At the end of the working day, you come home, and so begins the family routine. Dinner, housework, homework, extracurricular activities for the kids. As you tuck the kids into bed at night, you take a breath thinking, yes, I finally have some time to myself. And then hubby looks at you. Yep, he's wanting some of your time now. And so in your head, you can see the same conversation that happened the night before. How are you going to let him down? Or are you going to give him what he wants tonight, even though that is the very last thing that you want for you? You go to bed, you close your eyes, you wake up the next morning, and the exact same plan for that day plays out. This is Groundhog Day. And this experience creates negative head talk because underlying this kind of mundane routine lays emotions like loneliness, tired and exhausted, feeling resentful towards family, resentful towards work because you can't do and be who you really want to be. Guilty because you weren't more to the people that you love. Feeling worn out and overall just dissatisfied. So if this Groundhog Day existence resonates with you, then you're going to want to hang in for this episode. Now, when I was doing research for this podcast, I came across a study that was conducted in 2015 from a university in the UK, of which 69% of the people that they surveyed indicated that they felt trapped in the same routine day in and day out. Now, of the 2,000 plus people that they surveyed, 69% of them said they felt trapped in their same routines day in and day out. And 40% of the people surveyed admitted that they were unhappy in their life. Now, interestingly, 70% of these people surveyed claimed that if they were able to improve just one area in their life, they believed that they would be happy. However, most didn't know how to make these changes, didn't know where to start or what to improve to allow for a greater sense of happiness to come through. So I want to share with you at the end of this episode how you can start to implement change so you can break the habit of Groundhog Day existence. But before I do that, I want to share with you the 3 zones that I see people fall into when they say that they are stuck in Groundhog Day. In the time that I've worked with women who are experiencing the Groundhog Day Existence syndrome, the 2 main factors that I've identified as issues that create a Groundhog Day existence is having a stale view of your life or feeling trapped in the same repeated experiences day in and day out. So let's look at how these 2 issues create 3 negative zones that fuel negative thinking that then charge negative undercurrent emotional states. And you are going to instinctively know what zone resonates most with you as I go through these. So if it doesn't resonate, that's cool. It just means this is possibly not where you're at. So just wait for the next zone to come through. But if you start to resonate with any particular zone, I want you to start exploring what does it cost you by staying stuck in that particular zone, and what is it going to take for you to create change and move out of that space. Because with the awareness of where you currently are comes the possibility for you to change and grow and move out of it. We're going to start in zone number 1. This is where you have both a stale view of your life and you are experiencing repeated experiences day in and day out. Now, if you are stuck in this zone, chances are you are feeling tired and worn out. And I'm going to share with you a secret that I believe is really keeping you trapped in this state, and that is resentment. You're possibly feeling resentment because either work isn't allowing you the freedom to grow and pursue what you want from your business or from the career that you've chosen for yourself. Maybe you're feeling squashed by a glass ceiling, squashed by what other people think you're capable of doing. And so you resent your work life. Maybe you resent that business hasn't grown the way you wanted it to grow. It's harder than you expected. So there's this underlying level of resentment. Or possibly you're resenting family because you have big, bold professional dreams, and the responsibility of being mum and being wife has you feeling weighed down. Now, resentment is something that I personally have experience with, because when I was that crazy psycho mum, I'd built this big successful business that I really just wanted to sink my teeth into. Every day when I came home to 2 kids that were quite challenging, that demanded so much of my energy, I started to feel resentful. Not because I didn't love them, but because they needed so much from me, and I felt like I was losing my personal and individual identity. So resentment kept me stuck in feeling like I was in this Groundhog Day existence, resentment for my family. You could possibly also be feeling lonely and disengaged from the people in your life because you're just showing up, doing what needs to be done and going home. Doing what needs to be done at home and going to bed. So zone number 1 is where you have a stale view and you're experiencing the same repeated activities every single day. You're feeling tired, worn out, and possibly secretly resentful. Zone number 2 is where you're feeling stale. You've still got that same negative stale view of your life. However, when you look at your calendar, there's a variety of experiences that keep you occupied. Now, this variety of experiences combined with a stale view keeps you in a state of feeling dissatisfied, where you're naturally drawn to seeing the negative in these experiences rather than being able to enjoy the positive, causing you to feel discontented, like nothing really sparks you and excites you and motivates you. You're just going through the motions. This is zone number 2. And zone number 3 is where you're experiencing the same repeated experiences day in and day out. However, you've got a more positive, fresh perspective. The trap of zone number 3 is that the positive perspective that you have on these same repeated experiences gets you caught up in a comfort zone where you just do what you know, even though it's not fully satisfying you. And this zone number 3, it kind of reminds me of that saying that you're saying and thinking that you're grateful, but you're not really feeling grateful. There's a big difference, isn't there? You can say you're grateful for your life. You can say you're grateful for your habits, for your routines. But if you're not feeling deeply grateful and connected to this level of comfort, then it's not really serving you. And getting caught up in this safe zone of a comfort zone is actually detrimental to you, because it's robbing you from really being able to embrace the best that life has to offer. So what zone do you fall into? Are you in zone number 1, where you've got both a stale view of your life and you're experiencing the same repeated experiences day in and day out? Are you experiencing a variety of experiences, but you're still caught with this stale view of your life? Or are you able to see the positive, but you're caught in a trap of the same kind of thing happening every week? That same routine, the same activities, the same people, the same conversations, the same comfort zone that's not truly satisfying you. Would you like to know what the 4th zone looks like? The 4th zone that helps you to break free from the Ground Hog Day existence. Now, zone number 4 is when you are able to combine a variety of experiences that you create, a range of experiences that you choose to have in your life, that light you up, that bring you joy, that inspire you with a fresh, positive perspective, knowing that the golden thread is there for you to grab hold of and follow. Now, zone number 4 fills you with an internal sense of excitement. It allows you to experience more harmony in your life, because ultimately it gives you a sense of control, a deep knowing that you are in the driver's seat of your life and you get to choose what every single day looks like. So how do we get into zone 4? Now, of course, I'm going to encourage you to start looking at what your negative head talk is around your everyday life. Because until you become aware of the patterns of your thinking, of the quality of your thinking, nothing is going to change. And you also need to recognize that with every negative thought you have, you are feeling something negative that is validating and charging that thought pattern. This is why we own our BS, because only through ownership can we create change. So I want you just to be mindful of that. But as you're becoming mindful of that, 3 things that you can start to do today to break free from the Ground Hog Day existence is, number 1, identify what area of your life feels like Groundhog Day. Because let's be real, when we get stuck in a rut, it's very easy to assume that our entire life is caught in that place. But when we really start to break it down and look at our life properly, really look at how we are spending our day, it'll become clear that generally speaking, it's only one part of your life that is actually causing you to feel like you're stuck in a rut. So identify what that one area is that's keeping you dissatisfied. And when you know what that one thing is, step number two is to look at what you can change, grow, or improve about that one thing. How can you spice that one area of your life up so that it excites you again? Or is it something that you seriously need to reconsider having in your life? Do you just need to completely take a new turn? For instance, if it's your work that is causing you to feel stuck in a rut, have you come to the end of your timeline within that job? Is it time to look for something that challenges you again? Or is there an area within that role, within your business or your job, that you can tweak, that you can tackle and approach in a new way? If your home routine is what causes you to feel like you are stuck in a rut, what can you do to spice that up? If your relationship with your significant other is what's causing you to feel down and caught up, what can you do to reconnect with that person? And step number 3 is to identify how you can re-engage in your life. One of the most common issues that I see with women who come to me admitting that they are stuck in a rut, admitting that they are caught up in a Ground Hog Day existence, is that they have disengaged from life. So what can you do today to re-engage? Who are the people that you can re-engage with? What activities can you really commit to, go present to? By doing these 3 things, identifying that one area that's causing you to feel stuck, changing what you can within that zone, and making the commitment to re-engage with your life, you can change how the Groundhog Day existence plays out to you day to day. But like I said earlier, just be mindful of that reoccurring negative head talk, because nothing is going to change long term until you address those negative thoughts. We can change the external environment. You can go and get a different job. You can start that business that you've always wanted to start. You can spice things up in your relationship if that's what is feeling stale. However, those changes are going to be short-lived unless you start to address what's really going on. And my darling friend, that is often linked to an emotional charge that fuels negative head talk. So, when you get to a point where you want to really move out of that space where negative head talk controls your existence, then reach out. And in the meantime, know that the advice shared in this episode and in the previous episodes, when you combine these little steps, you're going to start to build up traction, and that is certainly a step forward. It's definitely going to help you to own your BS. So, have a fantastic week. Join me next week for episode number 21. And if I can help you to own your BS in any way, please reach out. You're welcome to email me at Bree@breestedman.com. Have a great week.